So hello and welcome to the video, and welcome to stateroom 7225 on the Celebrity Edge. I've been on board for 6 nights now and we disembark tomorrow, so as is customary I've spent a bit of time in the room, got to know it reasonably well, so it is time to offer you a tour of my cabin. So if that sounds interesting, stick around. Hi, I'm Matt and I love cruising. I love the ships, the places you visit, the entertainment, and every now and again I'll also enjoy a drink. So subscribe to the channel so you can come with me on my next cruise. Now, I didn't actually pick this cabin, which is quite unusual for me. I actually picked a cabin on the deck below, and I picked a Infinite Veranda single occupancy room. A couple of days before the cruise, I was contacted by Celebrity and told that they needed that deck for crew quarantine purposes, so would I mind awfully going up to deck 7 into a regular Infinite Veranda room. Now, I obviously didn't complain because that represented a cabin upgrade, and I've been very happy here on deck 7. So as is now customary, here is the walk to the cabin from the nearest elevator. It wasn't far. So before we get to the veranda and the infinity or otherwise of it, let's take a look at the rest of the room. Double bed, 2 singles pushed together as usual, an abundance of pillows and cushions, not necessarily my style but quite pleasant to occupy whilst on holiday. Bedside cabinet with a phone. Quite a lot of room between the bed and the wall. I've been in cabins that have had less than this, which indicates that this is perhaps quite a wide room, although you can see there is a notch into the room which accommodates the headboard of the bed in the room next door. Another bedside cabinet with a USB port close by, which is always handy. A sofa, and for once it is fairly soft, and it is something that you might actually choose to sit on. Art, which reminds me of a sequence that I saw in a Star Wars movie on the flight over from England, but that's another story. Swing around and you've got a very large TV, a very high quality TV too. Mine actually broke and it took them a day to fix it, for which they've apologised with a bottle of wine, so that's all good. And it has been quite enjoyable to lie in bed and watch the very large screened high definition TV. Swinging around again to the desk area, not much to say really. It'll hold your laptop, not a lot else. A mirror, hello. Then over here, this looks like drawers, but it is actually a fridge, and there is a mini bar in there at the usual extortionate pricing. Why anybody would buy something from a mini bar when it's never more than 30 paces to a bar which has probably got included drinks in it, I don't know, but there you go. A choice of plugs and a USB socket. I've oddly perhaps put my power adapter in as a UK and adapted it to UK, but it's also got a surge protection function in it, which is probably a useful way of deploying the adapter even if you've got a UK plug available. Some more minibar stuff, no tea and coffee making facilities because this isn't a UK cruise. A large lamp which has doubled up as a hat stand for the purposes of this cruise, and then 3 largest drawers, the top of which has got my dirty clothes in it, but I will show you what the second one looks like. Spinning around again, you have hopefully not authentic coral, because that's probably not a politically correct thing to be doing these days, but quite an attractive display. You've got a couple of storage units in here which I'm not using, hence I don't know which way they open. There we go. A unit up there with its own Wi-Fi repeater, which is quite good. The Wi-Fi has been pretty good on this cruise. Then another one down here, which is a shelf based structure. Then to the wardrobe, which is okay if there were 2 of you, might be a bit cramped, I don't know. A safe and 3 drawers under there, so probably respectable storage, not overwhelming, but it's been perfectly adequate for me on a 7-night cruise. I ought to mention this too. Every time I walk past it, I think it's one of those swing top bins with the lid that would slide open, but it's not. It's actually an additional stool that you would sit on if you couldn't reach the chair, or you didn't fancy the sofa, or you didn't want to sit on the bed. Across now to the bathroom, which is pretty good, quite sizable. If you had a smallish cat, you could probably give it a fairly good swing. Toilet, as you would expect. Around then to some storage. Again, no drawers in here. I don't know whether that's a cruise thing, that you never get drawers in a bathroom on a cruise ship, but a fair bit of surface space. Some more storage racks up here, and a big sink, although its surface area is much longer than it is wide, so it's odd, but it has been effective. And then turning round again, you have the shower, which is quite sizable, a solid door rather than a shower curtain. Some lotions and potions available to you. I'm led to believe by comments on previous videos that that is a footrest. If you needed to get a leg up for any reason while you were showering. I'll leave it to the imagination as to why you might want to do that, but all in all, good water power, good temperature, very happy with the shower. So then to the Infinite Veranda. And it's going to be quite difficult to explain this, I think, because you have two doors, concertina sort of opaque for modesty. We did dock one morning. I threw open the window to discover another cruise ship directly across from me, so you can preserve your modesty by deploying these interior doors. And then you have a balcony with a floor-to-ceiling window. Now, I, apart from modesty, have never really found a reason to close these doors. So having this extra space does increase the size of your cabin to a degree, although it's a little bit like having the garden furniture in your living room. You also have a shutter, so by pressing this button, down from the ceiling will descend a shutter, a curtain, a blind, I don't know what the correct word is. Quite powerful actually, not complete blackout, but it is very effective at blocking out the light when you want to sleep. Now obviously that is the fast side of these, so if you want to sleep you have to have these down even if you have these closed. I won't bring this down all of the way because it takes a while. Now I have to say these windows are pretty grubby, and this is the first time on the cruise when they've actually shown any dirt at all. We had some strong winds earlier today and I think that whipped up some spray which has caused the outside of the windows to get a little bit sort of clogged up with salt, which does get in the way of the view a little bit, which wouldn't obviously happen if you had an internal window further back from the edge of the balcony and an open space here. So that's a drawback. But when you lower this, as you do by pressing this button, you get an open veranda. It's intended to look and feel like a balcony, but I'm not sure it does. I think it feels more like sitting somewhere with the window open rather than sitting on a balcony, because your end areas are solid, whereas on a traditional ship there'd be some air passing through here that would give you a sense of openness. Obviously you can, just like on any balcony, you can lean out and you can see the view and you can see what's ahead. I can't necessarily see what's behind because I'm next to a step in the structure of the ship, but it's a somewhat weird structure. If you were to sit down, as I am now doing, the barrier is exactly at eye line and at horizon line, which really does get in the way. So if you want to see anything, you have to sort of duck down to see it, or stand up to see over the top of it. And then if you're in the cabin, it just looks as if you've got a window open. So that's the Infinite Veranda. I can see what they're trying to achieve, and they've obviously achieved what they intended, but I'm not sure it is a substitute for having a balcony. It feels a little bit like being in an interior cabin with a window that opens, and I'm not sure I prefer that to having a traditional balcony where you can actually go and feel like you're outside. So there you go, an Infinite Veranda cabin on the Celebrity Edge. I like it a lot. It's been very comfortable to stay in, it's had all of the facilities and functions that I've needed, and the television is excellent when it works. But I like having a balcony, and I'm not sure the Infinite Veranda is a good substitute for it. As I said, I did book a single occupancy cabin, so I have no idea whether that would have been smaller. I mean, the window footprint is the same size from deck to deck, so the width of the room would have been the same. Perhaps it would just have been a shallower footprint, but I will never know because that entire floor is currently sectioned off for quarantining crew. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like this video if you did. Please subscribe if you're new, and leave me a comment. What did you think of the Infinite Veranda? Would you prefer that over a regular balcony? Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.